What's going on? Another video. This time I'm going to talk about platoon composition. Alright, this is the nitty-gritty of what you should and shouldn't take in a platoon. Now, there's a couple of ways to field a platoon. You can field them the most common way, which is as two infantry squads, a platoon command squad, and give both infantry squads a heavy weapon, more than likely an autocannon or heavy bolter or something like that, and then just give them whatever special weapon floats your boat. That's fine. Ends up being a lot of points for just guardsmen, and my problem with that, and the only reason I don't field it, is because the other 8 guys in the unit end up doing nothing. It's really sad. For heavy weapons, I take a heavy weapons squad. For special weapons, I take either veterans or a special weapons squad. I don't think that the platoon is the optimum facet for this. If you want 2 mandatory troop choices, just go with 2 veteran squads. Right, that's cheaper, and it more than likely, if you're going to play them that way, is more effective. With ballistic skill 4, you'll get a hell of a lot more out of that heavy weapon. And they can take 3 special weapons. But we're not talking about veterans. We're talking about the good old platoon. Now, with mine, I give 1 squad per platoon a rocket launcher. Now, I take 3 squads in my platoon. 1 because that's the way the military does it, at least the Marine Corps. And I just think that it works better that way, because 3 is enough to get the job done, but it's not overkill. But I only take 1 heavy weapon, so that's so they can stay mobile and I'm not sitting there parking them. But I like the 1 heavy weapon because that gives me options, particularly the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher, for me, is my Space Marine killer. As Imperial Guard, we don't get a lot of anti-Space Marine stuff. The rocket launcher gives us that. Now, as far as special weapons go, I'm a big fan of the grenade launcher. I think that it does a fantastic job of killing light infantry, and even medium infantry like Eldar or Tau, which you could call light infantry, but anyway. It does a fantastic job of killing toughness 3 things. The last gun I like. I know it's not that great, but with the 1st rank fire, 2nd rank fire that I get from my lieutenants, they do a fine job. As far as sergeants go, always give him a bolt pistol, okay? Otherwise, he's never going to get a single kill. And you give him a bolt pistol by taking the last pistol. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. You give him the last pistol and you cut the barrel off. Alright, that makes a great looking bolt pistol. Nobody questions that it's a last pistol. Everybody's like, oh, bolt pistol. So, switch my light. My light bent. Anyway, so always give them a bolt pistol. That way they can get like a kill. So, my light broke. Anyway, alright. Other tips for squads. I like to paint their bases while we're picking up the sergeant. I like to paint their bases a color. This is Red Squad, my favorite squad of the platoons. I like to paint their bases because it helps me when I'm setting up terrain. It helps me when I'm thinking of a unit. I can put a face to them, and when you can put a face to a unit, you care about it a little more, and that's what I've done here. I love to give them melta bombs. With their mobility, they're rarely standing still, so they're always up in the enemy's face. And you can give a sergeant melta bombs for 5 points. Taking commissars, not a big fan of, because I care about my guys. However, when facing Tyranids or when facing Space Marines, I find a commissar is vital. The commissar, He does a fine job of killing Space Marines. Commissar does a fine job of making your lads hold the line. The entire reason they're there. And I find priests and commissars working together with the squad really helps against close combat armies, particularly Tyranids. As far as special weapons go, for grenade launcher, the flamethrower, I think the flamethrower has a better home in a special weapons squad. Not really here. While they're up close, still, not a lot of people are weak against flamethrowers. Space Marines, even Imperial Guard, really aren't that weak against flamethrowers. I don't know what you're thinking. How are Imperial Guard not weak against flamethrowers? Well, we're wary of flamethrowers. Even a dog knows don't stick your nose where it hurts. So if we see a flamethrower, we kind of steer clear of it, and it's not that difficult. So I don't think flamethrowers are that great. Sniper rifle I'm a big fan of, but not here. I'm a big fan of it in a veteran squad. I know what you're thinking. Not melta-guns? Well, when I go over my veteran squad, which I'll probably do right after this video, I'll go over why I think the sniper rifle is great. Melta-guns, it's too overdone. And there's better places in the world for a melta-gun than within Imperial Guard infantry squad. Plasma gun, love the plasma gun. That's my Space Marine killer. And if your Imperial Guardsman gets blown up by its own gun, guess what? It's a guardsman. I mean, I love the little guys, but I'm not that worried about them. Not as much as I am the firepower that you would gain from a plasma gun. Voxcaster. Voxcasters suck. I'm going to go out there and say it. Not because they suck in the unit. For 5 points, it's a great deal on this unit. They suck for the lieutenant, because it means the lieutenant has to take one. And when the lieutenant takes one, he's losing a special weapon squad. Or not squad, but a special weapons guy. And he needs all the special weapons he can get. From banner carriers to plasma guns to you name it. He needs it. So that's why the Voxcaster is not good. And taking that away from the unit isn't as vital as the firepower that they gain from another special weapon. Heavy weapons. If you have to take a heavy weapon with these guys, I highly recommend the missile launcher. If you're just going to ignore my tactics, then I recommend taking the autocannon. If you're going to camp your guys, take the autocannon or the heavy bolter. Both are 10 points, and they both do a great job against horde armies, and the autocannon does a great job against mech armies. Crack grenades I like, but the melta bombs do the job better than crack grenades, and melta bombs are 5 points less. So go with the one melta bomb over 10 crack grenades. I do. Further platoon options. The lieutenant or platoon command squad. You'll hear me call him the lieutenant a lot. The players that do most of them call him the lieutenant because that's what he used to be called. I call him the lieutenant because that's his position. He leads platoons. That's what a lieutenant does. I highly recommend taking either a lot of grenade launchers or a lot of plasma guns. And that's pretty much the only rule of thumb. As far as fluff goes, I take a banner, a platoon, what is that? Platoon standard. It's 15 points. Little pricey, really pricey for what it does. So I don't recommend it. But it's a good thing. Gonna have to wrap this up. Commander Chenkov I like because he gives move, and can give 2 orders. Al-Rahim, not a big fan. I'll do another video on my special weapons squad. Heavy weapons squad. If you're gonna take heavy weapons, take them in a heavy weapons squad. Alright, don't put them in the squad itself. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna do a video on my veterans next.